Hey there, how are you? Amber McLean from Naked Women's Business. This is a blog dedicated to one of my beautiful acceleration clients. And you know who you are, sweetheart. I want to thank you very much for the email that you sent through to me today. It was an honest, heartfelt, and very brave email. And an email that I believed deserved a blog. I believed that it deserved some time and some care, not only to help you out, sweetie pie, but also to help all of the other ladies that are amongst the Naked Women's Business tribe that I believe are going to get some great benefit from today's video. So, this client of mine is a tremendously clever lady. She's very innovative, she's very driven, she's very young and has achieved a lot in her young life, and has taught me a lot about myself and about getting in touch with that youth, that young essence that we have as we, the stuff that we tend to lose as we get older and older. And today she sent me an email and explained to me how she's going through this really challenging time in her business, and that she feels that she's in limbo. And I guess some of her greatest fears have hit her, in that she's starting to believe or starting to think that maybe this business isn't for her, that maybe she decided to get into this business for all the wrong reasons. So she's starting to second guess herself, and also starting to, I guess, really start buying into that, the easy option, which is the easy way out, that, you know, in the belief that this probably isn't for her or that it's not right for her. Now, it may be the case, I don't know, but I wanted to share this with you and also with the tribe, the Naked Women's Business tribe, because I believe, and I certainly hope, that this gives you a little bit of insight into what's really going on. And I believe that I can teach you this because I go through this myself all the time. And not just me, but all business people. All, especially successful business people, go through this same stage at some point throughout their business, not once, not twice, but very regularly. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to draw a picture. Okay. And, you know, there's a little bit more depth to this education, but I don't want to go on for too long. I've been going for 2.5 minutes. So let's just keep this moving, and just so that you can get a basic idea of what's going on. Okay, and excuse my skills as drawing, you know, not particularly the best drawer in the world, but that's okay. It's not about being perfect, is it? Okay, so let me just get out one more coloured pen. Beautiful. All right, so let's call this the Limbo roller coaster, right? Excuse me for looking in the camera. I'm just watching myself. Oh, do you notice my pretty nails? I got a beautiful manicure on the weekend with my bestie. Love it. Anyway, this is called the Limbo roller coaster. And this is what we go, this is a ride that we travel along as we build our super hot business empires. All right, got stuff falling out of my folder. Bear with me. Okay, so this is what's happening. This is where we are when we start out our business, right? And at this point, we learn something new. We learn something really new, and our learning goes up, right? We experience this big shift, this steep learning curve. In fact, it's probably not a very good drawing. It's probably more like this, okay? But just bear with me. So we go on a steep learning curve, we learn something new. And it's at this point, right here, that we need to make a decision. A decision comes along. We've learned something, we've applied something in our business, and at that point, it's now time to make a decision. And there's typically two ways that we can go, or there might be 2 or 3 decisions that we need to make. And what happens here is, depending on what decision we make there, will determine if we keep heading up our steep learning curve, right? Or we could make another decision that will take us back down here. Yeah. And then we go on this journey again, and we learn something new once again, and we get to this point where we need to make a decision again. We need to make a decision on how we're going to move forward with our business. Now, again, we have the opportunity where the decision will continue to grow and then be challenged again, or we can make another decision that will tend to take us down and we'll go back to where we began again. And we'll do it again and again. And you can see here that it's at this point, there's a tipping point here. There's a significant tipping point within our career and within our experience as a business owner and as a human being, where we'll have the opportunity to make a fairly great life-changing decision, where once we make that decision, the quality of the decision that we make, the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves will determine the results that we get, which will determine whether we continue to build and grow our business and grow as human beings, as the best possible version of ourselves that we can be, or we will start to make decisions that will drive us back down to where we began. This is the limbo roller coaster. So right at the moment, when you feel like you're in limbo, when everything's not going the way that you thought it was, simply because you've learned something new, you've learned something that you didn't know that you needed to know, and now that you feel like you have a greater problem, now that's where you can make a decision on which way you want to move your business and which way you want to move personally. Either you want to continue on this journey and you want to continue to grow, or you want to make a decision that's going to take you back down to where you were, that's going to take you back down to mediocrity, to average, to a place where everybody else wants to play. And that's not said with any disrespect. Please understand that there are people out there that want to remain employees, that are happy with that lifestyle, and I respect them. Some of my best friends are employees and they have the most beautiful life, a life that I completely envy, and that are living a high quality life with their children right now that I am working very hard to achieve. But I don't want to be an employee, and I know you don't either. So there comes a point, both in careers and in our business, where we are in limbo, where we've learned something new, we've learned something we didn't know that we needed to know, and it's put us in a place that has given us a greater problem. It's the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves that are going to determine what decisions what options we're going to give ourselves. And then it's when we're clear on our values, that the feelings and the experiences that we need to have every day in order to feel like we're living an exceptional life, when we know what those are, when we know we're clear on those, they are going to determine the answers to the questions that we ask ourselves, which is going to determine the results that we get in our business. So get this, learn something that you didn't know you needed to know in order to grow your business. Then get good at asking yourself high quality questions. Get clear on what your values are. Stick to your values. Be committed to those feelings and experiences that you want to have every single day to feel like you're living an exceptional life. And then use those values as a compass, as a roadmap on what answers you want to come up with to the questions that you ask yourself, that will determine whether you're going to continue to grow as a human being, as a business owner, to be the best possible version of yourself you can be with the resources that you have, or whether you choose to go back to where you started. That is the limbo roller coaster, and we go on this day in, day out as startups, and less often, but still a lot, as we become more and more evolved as business owners. Please understand, you can go up and down, and up and down and up. But as long as we're following this tangent, this is the ultimate. This is where we want to get to. This is our ultimate, ideal, perfect day. It ain't a straight line. It will never be a straight line. It is a tough gig. But who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What values do you want to live and experience and feel every single day to be living an exceptional life? What questions do you need to start asking yourself? And more importantly, what questions do you need to stop asking yourself? And what crap do you need to stop focusing on that's not resourceful and is not going to provide you with the resources you need in order to continue growing up this limbo roller coaster? That is my rant for the week. I certainly hope that's given you some value. Please embrace those shitty moments. Take the messages and the learnings that you have from them. Be a puddle on the floor. Then decide the very next day to get back up and move forward and ask yourself some different questions. Love you. Have a great week. Bye.